Now, if you're dreaming of a white Christmas, you might be eagerly watching the weather report as the big day draws ever closer. But did you know that jet streams high in our atmosphere are partly responsible for the weather conditions we experience? Well, we wanted to find out what the chances of snow was for this year, so I spoke to an expert in climate science to find out. It's on every Christmas card and there are many songs about it, but our chances of a white Christmas seem to be getting less and less each year. Climate change and melting sea ice in the north seem to be contributing factors to our winters becoming more mild each year. So, to find out if we should expect snow this Christmas, I went to the geography department at the University of Portsmouth.
Well, I'm a lecturer in climate science, and I basically obviously teach students weather and climate, but I also obviously do research as well, and I'm particularly interested in effects of climate change in mountain areas, and so I do looking at obviously the effects of climate change and global warming on changing snow and ice in mountains in particular. What we've got here is we've got a picture of the jet stream, which is right up high in the atmosphere, and that's really important because that controls our weather. It's controlled by a stream of air high up, and as you can see on this diagram, we've got a sort of contrast between cold polar air in the north and warm tropical air in the south, and that contrast in temperature creates strong winds, and that's the jet stream. Under general conditions, for example, if we have the top left-hand sort of situation, then the cold weather stays in the Arctic and the warm weather stays in the tropics, and we generally get very sort of mild in between, not very exciting conditions. However, if we have this sort of pattern, that can then lead to snow in the UK.
So what factors could affect our chances of having a white Christmas, and how can we reduce them?
I think the problem is the jet stream is just not isolated, it's part of a bigger system, and changes in the Arctic have been really big over the last 50 years. And that's because of global warming, and that's obviously because the main cause is CO2. Energy use is a major use of fossil fuels. So if you can be energy efficient, for example, and insulate your house, it's also quite good because you can save money as well at the same time, can't you? So if you can try and reduce your energy use, that's a very good thing. Another thing is obviously transport. I think most people know, the sort of things they need to do in terms of trying to use your car less when you don't need to and things like that.
Looking forward to the big day, what can we expect?
What the Met Office does and other organisations, they all have computer models which simulate into the future the patterns in the jet stream and therefore the general weather patterns. And this is a model, you can't see all the details, but it's for the next 10 days. And so at the top we have I think the 17th of December, and it goes all the way through to Christmas Day. But based on the model that we've got at the moment, what you can see in this, the colours in this represent the jet stream. So you can see the blue bits are where the cold air is. So it looks a bit like sort of wet, mild and cloudy, and a little bit windy as well actually if this happens. So it doesn't look like there's going to be a white Christmas based on these models, unfortunately. It's very difficult to get snow in the UK, or a lot of snow, particularly in Portsmouth, because you've got to have the cold, which comes from the dry, high pressure, and you've got to have the moisture, which comes from the storm.
So it would seem that climate change is no joke, and if you want snow this Christmas, then you might have to create it yourself, or get it from a can. This is Richard Stringer for That's Solent.